stay safe in your home. Today we are going to see about a new topic for grade 9 science, matter in our surroundings. From the name of the lesson itself, we clearly understand that we are going to discuss about various types of matters from our surroundings. So these matters either to be a physical object. So matter is to be any physical object. So what I have in my hand? Chalk piece. This chalk piece is also to be of any physical object. We have chairs, benches, board, duster, ourselves, and the food we eat, and water we drink, air we breathe. All are of physical objects. Why we say these things as physical objects? Because any physical objects, it must occupy some space and mass. So, what is the matter? Matter is anything of physical object which occupies some space and having some mass. That physical object may be either very big, just like our sun, and very tiny microscopic organisms. Anything is to be. It occupies some space and also having some mass. We consider to be as a matter. Did we say our feelings like anger, emotions, happy, sad, we may say it is to be of matter? No, because these things doesn't have any space, doesn't occupy any space, and also doesn't have any mass. Okay, but what our ancient philosophers thought in their olden days, they may consider this matter is mainly based on 5 basic elements. So what are the 5 basic elements we know? We know from the school days, right from the childhood onwards, from your first standard, second standard, we have seen the 5 basic elements, air, water, sky, land, and fire. So these 5 basic elements we know right from our small, young class onwards. These 5 basic elements plays a major role in forming of matter, what they thought in their olden days. But later they found out not these 5 basic elements is made up of any matter. These 5 basic elements, apart from that, these matters are based on its physical properties, and second one, chemical nature. So, a matter is anything which occupies some space and having some mass. We call it as matter. And what our ancient philosophers thought, these matter is mainly composed or based on 5 basic elements. That is Panchapudakal. Okay. Apart from that, later the scientist has found out not these 5 basic elements has only formed the matter. It is mainly because of physical properties and chemical nature of an element. Okay. Next, we are going to see about particles of matter. Next topic we are going to see is physical nature of matter. In this, what we are going to see, next we are going to see is physical nature of matter. Okay. In this, what we are going to see is, we are going to see as very, very tiny in size. Who is very, very tiny in size? Particles. fine particles. These fine particles are bind together to give me this chalk piece. Okay. So this chalk piece is also made up of very fine tiny particles. So these particles are very tiny and it is composed of a single object. Okay. So any object you may take, either it is the chalk piece or stone or land or soil or bench or desk, anything, whatever it is to be, it is composed of very fine small particles. Okay. When you take a small dewdrop, what is dewdrops? We see the small drops over on the grasses, the small fine drops. We see this in winter season. We often see small dewdrops. That small dewdrops is of very minute, small in size, but the small size of that particle is composed of 10 power 21 number of particles. You see, it is with 10 power 21 number of particles of water molecules. Okay. So a single small tiny drop of a dewdrop is composed of 10 power 21 particles of water molecules. We see from this what we understand that the particles of matter, the particles of nature are very small in size. These small sized particles are composed together, joined together to form a big sized particles. Okay. Next, we are going to see about the characteristics of particles of matter. Characteristics of particles of matter. First, we see about the definition for matter. Next, we see the physical nature of matter. The third topic we are supposed to see is characteristics of particles of matter. Okay. We say as characteristics of particles of matter, we are having 4 different characteristics. The first characteristic is particles of matter have space between them. Second characteristic is particles of matter are very small. Okay. So first characteristics, particles of matter have space between them. Second one is particles of matter are very small. The third one we are supposed to see is particles of matter are constantly moving. And the fourth one is particles of matter attract each other. Okay. So what are the 4 characteristics we have seen is particles of matter have space between them. The second one is particles of matter are very property, the particles of matter have space between them. For this, we have an activity. Shall we see now? For this, what I am going to take, I take your water. Okay. To this, I am going to add a small amount of sodium chloride crystals. What is sodium chloride? We know it very well. That is a common salt, table salt, which is the raw material for the preparation of several ingredients. Okay. To this, I am going to add 4 spatula full of sodium chloride salt. You see, a water with sodium chloride. What I am going to do? Okay, what I am going to do? I am going to dissolve these salt crystals in the water. Okay, let me see. I am going to dissolve these salt crystals in the water. After dissolving, you see, the salt crystals are getting dissolved in water. It is completely dissolved. What did you observe now? Did you find any more sodium chloride crystals here? Can you find out any more sodium chloride crystals here? You can't, because these sodium chloride crystals are gone. It goes and occupies the space. Where? In the water molecules. Even when you see in the water molecules, we are having if it is to be of beaker, the water molecule is to be present like this. Okay. So there is some space between the molecules of water. When I am dissolving, what happens? These salt particles go and hide between the gaps of this water molecules. So after dissolving, these particles go and hide the gaps between the, otherwise fill the gap between the water molecules. So only we cannot able to see the small fine tiny particles of sodium chloride crystals. So from this experiment, what did we find out? The particles of matter have space between them. The particles of matter, whom here? Water. So this water molecule having some space between them. So only sodium chloride crystals goes and occupies the space between the water molecules. Okay. What is the next one? Characteristics is particles of matter are very, very small. Okay. For this also we have an activity. Shall we do now? Okay. Again I take a beaker with small amount of water. To this I am going to add a small drop of potassium permanganate crystals. You see the potassium permanganate crystals here. These potassium permanganate crystals, you see, what is the color of the potassium permanganate? Is to be purple color. You see these potassium permanganate crystals, when I am dropping into the water, it starts dissolving. After dissolving for some time, you see these crystals has moved up and has to fill the complete solution. I am going to dissolve these potassium permanganate crystals. You see the complete solution now. Okay. After what I have to do? When I am dissolving this small pinch of potassium permanganate crystals in the water, these crystals contain, what it told us? Contain very fine, minute number of particles, after dissolving, these fine particles are started to dissolve and goes and occupies the space between the water molecules. So, the colorless water now become purple color. Still you see, the small crystal is still dissolving. So, what I have to do, after dissolving this complete solution, from this, I am going to take 10 ml from this. To this 10 ml, I am added with another 90 ml of water. So to this 90 ml of water, I get a clear solution of another potassium permanganate with and pinch of faded color. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, can you find the difference between the original one and the next one? There is a difference in color, you know. The color is being getting faded. So why it is getting faded? It keeps on diluting. It also contains very fine, small, tiny particles which keeps on dilution. The color is being getting faded and faded. This I continue this process for 10 to 15 beakers. And finally, in the solution, I get a pearl permanent pink color. I showed that to you also. This is a solution. I get it fine. I get finally after 10 or 15 beakers. Can you find out the difference between these two? This is the original one with the potassium permanganate crystals in it after dissolving in 100 ml of water. This is another one with the permanent pale pink color. So what we have to find out from this activity? This activity clearly shows us the particles of matter are very small, which keeps on dilution, the particles imparting color to the solution. So this shows the fine particle is getting faded, and up to 10 ml of the beaker also we can able to dissolve potassium permanganate crystals. So from this activity we have to find out particles of matter are very small. Okay. We have seen two characteristics. One is particles have space between them. For this, we have seen water with sodium chloride crystals. After dissolving, the sodium chloride crystals go and occupies space between the water molecules, and we cannot find out the sodium chloride crystals. It shows the particles having some space between them, and another particles come and occupies space between the water molecules. And the second one is the particles of matter are very small. For this activity, we are using potassium permanganate crystals. Actually, the color of potassium permanganate crystal is purple in color. On dissolving in a colorless solution of water, these potassium permanganate crystals gives us a purple color solution. After dissolving a 10 ml of that solution into another beaker for 10 times, I get a permanent pale pink color of potassium permanganate. So it shows the particles of matter are very small. The third topic we have seen is particles of matter are constantly moving. So it shows particles of matter are constantly moving, continuously the particles of matter are moving. We know it very well. We have three different states of matter. One is to be solid state, another is to be liquid state, another is to be gaseous state. But in your 9th standard, you may read two more states. One is plasma and another one is to be Bose-Einstein condensate. That you will read later. Okay. So we have discussed the constantly moving of different states of matter. Either it is to be in a state of solid, or it is to be in a state of liquid, or it is to be in a state of gas. Whatever state is to be, but the particles are constantly moving. Okay. For this, we have a well-known example. If any of your favorite food is cooked in one corner of your house, otherwise one corner of any room, okay, you are in another corner of some other room, after 4 rooms or 5 rooms or some other rooms in a big house. Can you get the smell of the cooked food? It is a very favorite food. Okay, can you get the smell of the cooked food? We say yes or no? Definitely we say yes. How? How these cooked food smell, flavor reaches us to this several meters? Because mainly due to diffusion. So, the particles of matter are constantly moving due to diffusion between the molecules. Okay, so where is this diffusion is highly possible? In a state of solid, liquid or gas. This state of diffusion is highly possible in case of liquid and as well as very highly in state of gas. Okay. So only we can easily get the smell of the cooked food from one corner to another corner. Okay. So what is diffusion first? We say as diffusion. Now, so what is diffusion first? Diffusion means intermixing. What? Intermixing of particles with one another. So, there is an intermixing of particles with one another. We call it as diffusion. So, due to this diffusion only, the particles of cooked food has reached several meters. Even you have to keep any instant stick. That instant stick at one corner of the room. The smell of this instant stick has spread from this corner to any other corner of the room because mainly due to the diffusion between these particles. Okay, and how this diffusion helps us to get the smell of the cooked food? Because for this we need kinetic energy. Okay, so what is kinetic energy? The energy possessed by any object when it is unmoving, that energy we call it as kinetic energy. So when it reaches from one corner to another corner of the room, mainly because due to this kinetic energy between the air molecules, it has to strike with one another and the kinetic energy is being produced in these air molecules. It helps us to reach from one corner to the another corner very fast due to the movement of this diffusion and as well as due to the kinetic energy between the particles. Okay, and it is possible only in state of gas? No, we may see these diffusion in state of liquid also. We have seen the previous experiment, we have seen the potassium permanganate crystal as dissolved in a water. I'll show you. This is to be of water. This water add a small crystals of potassium permanganate. Can you see? Small crystals of potassium permanganate. You can easily see the particles when it put into the water, it dissolves and started moving upwards. Okay, and the remaining molecules of water come and fills the gap between the water molecules. You see the diffusion clearly here. When you see the potassium permanganate crystals as easily diffuses in the water. So, we know that in the state of liquid and as well as in the state of gas, this diffusion is highly possible when compared to the state of solid. Okay, and we say one thing as diffusion and another one as kinetic energy. These diffusion and kinetic energy mainly based on Brownian moment of the particles. Okay, so this diffusion between the particles and as well as the kinetic energy among the particles are mainly due to the Brownian moment. So what is Brownian moment? So what is Brownian movement? Who found out this Brownian movement? Mr. Robert Brown. He only found out this movement. By his name we call it as Brownian movement. Okay. From where he has found out this Brownian movement? And what is a Brownian movement is? That is zigzag movement of the particles. We call it as Brownian movement. That is, movement of particles we call it as zigzag movement of the particles. We call it as Brownian movement. We see here, I write here. I think you doesn't see the board. So, diffusion. So, what is diffusion? Intermixing of particles with one another. Intermixing of particles with one another, we call it as diffusion. This diffusion is highly possible in case of liquid and gases when compared to solids. Okay. Next one, what I told you, Brownian movement. So what is Brownian movement? Zigzag moving of particles. The zigzag movement of the particles, we call it as Brownian movement. Okay. So through this zigzag movement only, we get the kinetic energy between the particles. This kinetic energy helps us to diffuse the particles from one corner to the another corner of the room. Okay. Where we have to find out the zigzag movement? By Robert Brown, through the pollen grains. Once we throw the fine powder of pollen grains over on the water, and he observed with the help of microscope, he has to find out the pollen grain particles has moved from one corner to the other corner. He has to skip with each other, strike with each other. So by hitting off each other, each pollen grains, it moves from one corner to the other corner and has moved. Due to this movement, he has to find out this Brownian movement. Okay. So we have go through the three characters. One is particles of matter have space between them, is very small, and particles of matter are constantly moving. Okay. So one more characteristic to be left over, you know. What is it? Particles having a nature to attract each other. So the fourth characteristic is particles of matter attract each other. So this is the fourth characteristic we have seen. Particles of matter attract each other. So is the force of attraction is common in all states of matter. We are discussing about solid, liquid and gas, you know. In all the three states, is the particles of matter or same? No. The force of attraction between the particle is stronger in case of solid and less in case of liquid and very less in case of gases. Okay. So we call this the force of attraction between the particles is called coercive force. We call it as coercive force. This coercive force may vary for different states of matter. Okay, why this will vary for different states of matter? Because the intermolecular force of attraction, otherwise we call it as interspatial force of attraction. When you take these to be in a state of solid, compared to the liquid state. So the force of attraction between the particles are tightly packed. So the cohesive force of attraction, otherwise intermolecular force of attraction between the particle is very high in case of solid. Okay. If I take liquid, okay, if I take liquid, this liquid, how these particles are arranged? Here you have one, here you have another one, here you have another one, here you have another one. So there is a gap between the particles, you know. This nature makes the particles to flow. So the cohesive force of attraction between the particles in the state of liquid is less. Otherwise, intramolecular force of attraction between the particle in this liquid state is less when compared to the solid. Okay. When you take gas, we know it very well. These gases molecules are very loosely packed. Okay. Because it has to randomly move here and there. Here for a gaseous state, the fluidity is very high when compared to the liquid state and compared to the solid state. So the particles are easily moving and there is no much force of attraction between the particles. So there is no definite shape and having less density. So that this cohesive force is very less in case of gas. And it is more when compared to liquid, and it is very high in compared to solid. Okay. So what are the things we have discussed till now? We have seen about a definition for matter. A matter is anything which occupies some space and having some mass. We call it as matter. Then physical nature of matter. In that we have seen that the particles are very tiny in size. And for this we have seen the example of small dewdrops, and we have seen the four characteristics of particles of matter. The first we have seen is particles of matter having some space between them and its size is very small and their particles are constantly moving and the particles of matter attract each other. So these four are the characteristics of particles of matter. I hope every one of you have understand this. And we will see the states of matter and the change of temperature, different states of matter with change in temperature and change in pressure. We will discuss on the next class. Thank you.